Hey guys, this is Renee from Northern Victoria, God Squad member. This is today's passage is in Luke 14, titled "The Cost of Discipleship." Here we go. Large crowds were travelling with Jesus, and turning to them, he said, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, his wife and children, his brothers and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. And anyone who does not carry his cross and follow me cannot be my disciple." That's pretty challenging. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Will he not first sit down and estimate the cost to see if he has enough money to finish it? For if he lays the foundations and is not able to finish it, anyone who sees it will ridicule him, saying, "This fellow began to build and was not able to finish." My goodness, Jesus. Some days I wonder how, as a movement, Christianity has become so conservative and cautious, how we've become to be synonymous with everything cautious and conservative, and yet Jesus seems to be anything but. Jesus requires of us that we challenge everything that is normal for our culture. Lord, I pray that we learn as a church, that we remember who you are, that we remember who it is that we're following. The concept of cost of discipleship is something that doesn't get talked about a lot. We brush off the concept by saying that, being involved in God Squad, that the cost for me is how much I spend on my bikes and travelling, and how much time is consumed by doing this mission. I don't think that's a fair description of the cost of following Jesus, because I would have all of this stuff. I would be doing this stuff. I would be spending this money whether I was in a Christian mission or not. This is not the cost of following Jesus for me. The cost of following Jesus, the cost would be described as something that I would rather not spend. Cost can only be described as something that I sacrifice. And a sacrifice, for me, looks far more like doing something that I don't want to do. For me, that looks like having patience with people who I'd rather not have patience for. A cost looks far more like spending time with people that are hard work. Cost would be forgiving people who don't deserve to be forgiven, whether it's because they haven't asked for it, whether because they don't recognise they need it. We can write a long list there, can't we? To forgive people is something that Jesus calls us to do. To hand over my will to do Jesus' will is something that is a cost. The idea of hating yourself or hating your family is obviously more about putting Christ first, because Jesus also says that we need to love and respect our family and our parents. This is not a black and white concept that Jesus is saying. This is think a little more deeply about this. Are you willing to pay the price to follow me? Because if you're not, he would rather you say so and go and do something else. What he wants is people who have looked at the cost and made the decision that I am willing to do the thing that you call me to do, even when I don't feel like it. And I will be there at the finish because you've called me to. That's what Jesus is calling us to do. My prayer is that you consider well whether you're willing to do the stuff that Christ calls us to, especially the stuff that we find challenging, because that is the cost. Read Jesus' words. Read the Gospels. Remember who he is. He's not maybe. He may not be who you remember. Cheers. See you next time.